Everybody understands that? So now properties of delta G. Properties of delta G. We will see the properties of delta G. So let us say there is an oxidation reaction. It is given, it is losing 2 electron, and delta G for this reaction is x joules. Now according to the laws of thermodynamics, if we reverse the reaction, delta G will also be reversed, that it will be minus x joules. Okay, keep it in mind, because in one direction if the process is spontaneous, in another direction process will be non-spontaneous, so the sign will change. Everybody understood? Okay, this was property number 1. Now we are going to property number 2. Delta G is extensive property. Extensive means mass dependent. What is delta G? Extensive. Extensive property means mass dependent, which depends on the mass. What do we understand by this? We understand that, okay, let us take the example so that we understand it. Let us say again we have the same reaction. It is oxidation reaction. Delta G is x joules. So in a reaction, the mass is shown by the stoichiometric coefficient. If it is A, it means 1 mole of A. But let us say I write it 3A. It means 3 moles of A. Isn't it? The mass has gotten thrice 3 moles of A. Isn't it? So if we change the stoichiometric coefficient, it is A, but here it is n times A. Okay, so obviously mass dependent means the delta G value will be multiplied by n, so it will become n x joule. It will become n x joule. Everybody understands that? Mass dependent extensive means if we multiply the equation by any factor n, then the value of delta G will also be multiplied by a factor n. Everybody understands that? Okay, so now we are going to property number 3. Delta G is additive. So dear students, first of all you need to understand, if I am writing delta G, it is already understood that we are talking about delta G naught as well. Okay, we are talking about delta G naught as well. Everybody understands that? Very well. So it is additive. Additive means we can add this. How we can add this? Let us take an example. For example, this is a reaction. It is losing 1 electron only. It is making A positive. And for this reaction, delta G naught comes out to be x joules. This comes out to be x joules. Further, this A positive is again losing 2 electrons, making A3 positive, and delta G equal to y joules. Delta G naught equal to y joules. Now adding both the reactions, we get A2 A3 positive plus 3 electrons. So what will be the delta G naught for this reaction? Delta G naught will be x plus y. Individual values of delta G naught can be added if 2 or more reactions are added for a final reaction. Okay, it is additive. Now property of E or E naught. Properties of E or E naught. What is this thing? E means E cell, that is EMF of the battery, and E naught means standard cell potential of the battery. E is cell potential of the battery. E naught is standard cell potential of the battery. Isn't it? Let us say the first reaction we are taking. We have taken an oxidation reaction. Here it is. Here it is an oxidation reaction. How do we get? Because it is losing 2 electrons, making A2 positive. And for this reaction, E is x volt. E here, what is E? Here E is oxidation potential in non-standard state. Oxidation potential for the given reaction is x volt. Now if we reverse the reaction, so this time E will be minus x volt. E will be minus x volt. If it is not coming onto the screen, I will write it over here. E will be equal to minus x volt. Okay, it will be equal to minus x volt. Okay, now property number 2. So in property number 1, what do we We understand that if we clearly understand, what do we understand? That if there is a reaction, oxidation reaction, if we write its reduction reaction, the value of E will also change. Okay, this is the same property as of delta G or delta G naught. Next, E is intensive. Delta G was extensive, mass dependent, but E is intensive, that is mass independent. It means whatever we write the coefficient of the reaction, E will remain same, that is E naught won't change. E naught won't change. Okay, everybody understands that E naught won't change. Whatsoever is multiplied, I am writing it onto the main screen so that you understand. E naught won't change whatsoever is multiplied. Okay, E naught won't change at all. That is, this was the initial reaction. What we are doing, we are multiplying it by a factor n. Still the E naught will be x volt. Okay, E naught won't change because it is an intensive property. Okay, intensive property means mass independent. Again, E is non-additive. This is third property. What do we understand by this? We are having a reaction. Its oxidation potential is x volt. This is further getting oxidized. Its oxidation potential is y volt. Okay. Now if we add both the reaction 1 plus 2, if we do 1 plus 2, it becomes A3 positive plus 3 electrons. It will not be equal to x plus y volt. Then what it will be? Tell me what it will be. It is not, because it is not additive, so we cannot add simply. So keep it in mind. Many 99% students do this as a wrong thing in the exams and in the questions. They do this completely wrong. They simply add this. This is not additive. Then how do we find E3? We find E3 by using delta G. If here it is E3, E1, E2, 3 given, so we will take delta G. If E naught is given, we will take delta G naught. We know very well that delta G equal to delta G1 plus delta G2, yes or no? Isn't it? Because that is additive, we know it. So delta G, or you can write delta G3 equal to minus NF E3 equal to minus NF E1 plus of minus NF, I'm sorry, we'll write here E2, isn't it? So minus NF E2, so we will cancel the minus signs. No, we will cancel the minus signs, but not N. Why? Because N are different, so we'll write N3, N1 and N2. We will write it like this. Everybody understand? Because every reaction has different value of participating electrons, isn't it? So we will cancel the F. We have cancelled the F. So this becomes N3E3 equal to N1E1 plus N2E2. This implies E3 will be equal to N1E1 plus N2E2 upon N3. Everybody understands that? So it is not additive. It should be written like this or written like this, whatever you want to use. The final will be this one. So in this question, value of N1 is 1, value of N2 is 2 and value of N3 is 3. So how do we write? E3 equal to N1 was 1 multiplied by E1 will be written as E1 plus 2 times E2 upon 3. This will be the value of the E3 for the final reaction. Everybody understands that? very well. Okay, this way we can write it. This is our answer. Okay, I hope you understood every part of this. So whatever the doubts you have, you can speak up in comment section. We can take the doubts regarding this topic, and whatever the point you didn't understand, we can go through it. And I'm sure once you do this up to this point, any question, previous year question of JEE mains and advanced or whatsoever you can attempt, please go through all the formulae, go through each and every part. Whatever be the conceptual question, whatever be the level of question, you will easily be solving it. Thank you.